So we're gonna watch our loaders work for a little bit today. Get some video off of them. For those of y'all that don't know, we're based out of Louisiana with our logging operation. We are one small part of two jobs. Our second job that we have is a larger first thinning application crew. We're a first and second thinning crew, mostly first. Two Tigercat 234 loaders. One is the newer 234B. We operate two loaders in a set while working thinning. Most of the time we use a chambers deliminator when the timber falls off and gets small like it is. Help keep production up. We average 12 loads a day. We do make as much as 16, 17 a day. We try to average our 12, 60 a week. You can see my D-lemon loader out there. He's having to cut his tops before he puts it through the chambers, which is a little bit different than most people do with the chambers. But we have to, our mill calls for a cut top. It has to be a 3-inch top. If it's really bad wood, he'll run it through the deliminator after he bobs the tops off. Most of the time he just cleans it up with his pull through. The loader over here beside the road primarily loads trucks. If need to, he does delim some. We have two skidders, one full-time, one standby. It also helps, the second skidder helps out when the drag gets long. Primary skidder is a 748L John Deere with a 19-foot grapple. Our second skidder that we use is a 620E Tigercat skidder. It has a 15-foot grapple. We're in a little bit of a unique setup here as well. The wood was really good when we first started here, this tract of timber. So we set our loaders up what we call working backwards, from working from left to right instead of right to left, to where my loading loader doesn't have to work his wood around the D-lemon loader while he's loading his trucks. The wood has fell off and we had to set our box up. So we're having to work a little bit different than what we're used to working. It's a little bit of a slower process like this, but it gets the job done. We have two excellent loader operators. They do a good job of making sure we get our loads daily. Another thing we like using the chambers deliminator for is it really helps pull the trash out of the wood as it's being processed. It reduces the amount of time the loader has to pull with the wood. You can get the bigger pieces out. And what doesn't fall out with him handling it, the chambers will chew it out of there for him. Speeds him up some. We also have 2 cutters on the job, one primary, one secondary. Primary cutting machine is a 853M from John Deere. You won't get to see much of it right now, as it has a prototype felling head on it to help increase production in the small timber that we usually stay in. But it is an excellent piece. We like using Tigercat loaders and John Deere skidders for the rubber tires that we use, which is my secondary cutter. We use a 718E. We will dual it out from time to time when the ground gets wet. It primarily helps cut just the down rows ahead of the track machine. The track machine does all of the thinning. The rubber tire will help do thinning when need be. My rubber tire operator normally hops between his rubber tire shear and the Tigercat 620 here. When we get ahead, he runs the skidder. When we're not ahead, I have a set hand, that a truck trimmer, as most people call him. He's a green operator. We're teaching him how to work in the woods. We'll let him tote trash, make some drags of wood, try and generate some new blood, so to speak, in our industry. That seems to be something we fight, is finding quality operators and employees today. That's one of the things that I'll do in these videos. I'd like to educate people of the logging industry, how it's, you know, a great business industry to be involved with, to make a good living. There's several YouTube channels already going with other methods of logging on it, and we'll start one here and demonstrate to the world how the southeast, so to speak, in South Louisiana, we first thin. For those of you that don't know what a first thin is, after they clear cut the timber, they will come in and plant it. And it'll stand roughly 12 to 15 years. And they will bring a contractor in like myself. First thinning is a very big part of the logging industry in my area. We'll come in and the trees are planted in rows just like a cornfield. We will take every 5th row out and thin it down to we go off of what's called basal area, which would probably equal 250 or so stems, probably 300 stems to an acre left standing. We take the poorer trees, the diseased trees, the trees that are suppressed, to let the larger trees thrive and survive, to grow and make logs one day. First thinning is a very vital part in the timber industry to make sure you have a good quality stand of timber to get log timber, saw timber, light poles, trees for lumber and whatnot in the future. I think our skidder's fixing to push his set out a little bit here. The brush is starting to get a little deep in the set area. We'll watch him push it out real fast. We're a relatively young business, so to speak, on this job site. This job has only been in business for a year now. Our other job that we have has been in business since 1999. And we are one of the largest first thinning producers in the South. I may be wrong, but I think here a while back we were told that we are the largest producing thinning application crew in the state of Louisiana for sure. Company-wide, we'll move 150, 160 loads a week. There's our John Deere skidder. He will take that bundle of trash that he's picking up, he'll take it and scatter it out and about our access roads that we use to skid the timber up down the what we call down rows, which is the row of timber we took out to get in there to thin the standing timber left. He'll scatter it all out over the track, use it to make water bars if need be on the sides of hills that we may have. The debris that he is dropping will also help fill in wet areas if he needs place to fill in a wet area. We are also a shovel thinning crew when it gets wet enough, or when the ground in the woods is wet enough and they have access haul routes to get to it. We will shovel thin. That'll be an interesting video to get for y'all when we get back to it. It's very different. But that trash, a lot of people will use it to mat with in first thinning. We use it to a degree. For the most part, we are when it gets bad wet, we use wood to build our mats out of. But that debris will be scattered out across the track. It will rot, decompose, add nutrients back to the ground, and help somewhat fertilize the standing trees around. For the people that are in the logging industry, they know that skidder has a turnaround seat. For the people that are watching that does not know, the reason the operator paused right there before he started traveling forward, that machine has a seat that will spin around where he can look out of the back glass without having to turn around in the seat himself or twist his neck around and fatigue his neck all day long. The seat will spin around so he can have a better line of vision to see what he's doing. He'll back over there now and grab a bundle of that trash that he pushed up. Head back off into the woods to get him another drag headed up, bunched up. See, he spun his seat back around right there so he can see backwards. You never have to turn the skidder around. It just leaves the set going backwards, headed towards the wood. That's one of the best things they've ever put in a machine, the spin around seat. See, like that wood there is pretty decent wood. He just cleaned it up real nice with the CTR. Don't have to use his eliminator over there unless it's absolutely necessary. If y'all enjoy watching these videos, make sure you like, subscribe our channel, please.